All right. Welcome everyone to the closing ceremony of the DAO Global Hackathon. I think there was a bit of an echo, so that's been fixed. So welcome in. We're super excited to have you here. This should be a really fun event. We'll essentially go through what the hackathon was like. We've been coding away for the last 2 months, and we have very exciting things to present to you. So let's get started. For those of you who are coming in for the first time, supporting some friends, we'll just give you an overview of what these past few months have been like. The main idea behind the global hackathon was really just to build a virtual sprint, a virtual community of people who are working within DAO tooling, who are finding some different pain points across the ecosystem, and that really want to be pushing forward for these governance primitives to take action. So with that sort of framework in mind, we decided to split the event in 2 main sections. First off, we're working with the existing infrastructure. So we put out some bounties and we were thinking of how could we resolve these technical limitations, these integrations that could work better for the existing DAO tooling. Now, once that was done, the second half of the hackathon, it was a free-for-all. Right? For people who have been working in these spaces, so people who want to be building off of the existing tooling, how could we really build up that next frontier of human coordination in terms of tooling for these organizations? And so with that framework in mind, really what has happened the last 2 months has been amazing. I think, especially looking at this map, you can really tell that this is a global next stage of the world and human coordination that we're facing. We have people from all around the world speaking all sorts of languages, from all sorts of cultures, from all sorts of backgrounds. And we're coming together to build up around 36 projects that were submitted across the different tracks. We pulled in partners from all across the ecosystem to put in more than $200,000 is for prize pools, which is an amazing accomplishment. And through that, we were able to get 10 workshops done by our partners, as well as give support to existing teams and really make sure that collaboration was a lot of peer-to-peer within existing team within the Discord. I think by the end right now, we're over at 700 people within Discord. It's been super active and it's just been very cool to meet other people who are interested within these topics. Aside from that, of course, we do have to give out some winners, although all submissions were amazing. We have 12 winners that will come out of these 4 tracks, and we've pulled in 12 judges from our partners to make sure to choose who will receive the amazing prizes. So I just want to take some time here to really thank the partners who have put this project together. It's been 2 months long of really hard work, just going through it, aside from the previous work that's been done to getting this accomplished. So just taking the time, it's people from all across the ecosystem just wanting to see it thrive. And I think that mission and that collaborative mindset is super powerful in what's being accomplished. Now, having that said, when we were thinking of how to structure this, it became clear that we needed to focus on some clear pillars. Especially looking at it from top down, we have the multi-chain development, which is crucial to get that cross-chain integration across the different blockchains. Then we started thinking of the existing DAO tooling and how can we make sure we have decentralized code bases, voting structures, different DAO tech in place that can help push these organizations forward. Then, of course, we have the treasury management, the different finance resources that are being pulled from one edge to another. And then, of course, the more human aspect of getting the community together, and especially with the hype of the NFTs, token gated processes, how can we make sure that this is fully integrated within our DAO environment? And I think what was interesting to see was that even across all these different tools, the one we received the most submissions for was the community. And I think that's a super interesting pain point to see, where the problems right now within DAOs are not so much the tech itself, but the human aspect of coordination and bringing these people in. So we got 20 submissions, so almost 20 submissions for that. We also got a lot of submissions for the core DAO Tech, which is an essential part of seeing these organizations grow, as well as, of course, for finance and operations and multi-chain development, which can also be, usually the hardest one to go around. Now, in terms of judges, like we said, we had judges from all across the different partners. These are people who are building projects within the space, super specialized. We feel so lucky to have them come on and give us their insight on the projects that were built. And they used a specific criteria that we proposed for them to judge. So number one, making sure that the projects submitted were original, they feel novel, they feel fresh, they're taking an innovative approach to existing problems. Number two, making sure that the project submitted fits into the right tracks. So to make sure that each track was being tailored to a specific niche. Number three, the execution. So does the project run locally? Does it run in testnet? Does it run on a mainnet? Is it deployed? And making sure that the projects had a full-on execution. Number four, how useful they were. So is it something that is really needed within the ecosystem, or something that maybe is not as useful as the ecosystem grows? And then number five, the pitch, right? Is it a pain point? How are the presentations? How is the slide? How is the demo? And making sure that we're really touching upon that human to human aspect of submitting a project as well. Now, having that said, it's time to announce the winners. So first off, I want to introduce one of our judges, Matthias, who will be presenting the multi-chain track.
Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me. My name is Mateusz. I'm the governance facilitator for Polygon. I oversee all of the governance-related aspects of our products, and so it's a pleasure to be here, and it's also a pleasure to be able to judge those submissions. So first, let me talk a little bit about the aspects or the current trends in the multi-chain DAO creation space or DAO tooling space, I guess. So I think that one of the major focuses, which is very encouraging to see, is something that is filling the void of this sort of lack of conceptual framework around DAOs. And so the foundation for that, I feel like, is data analytics. Data analytics that is cross-chain, that covers all of the different subjective and objective inputs that DAOs create. And so I'm happy to see that there is a lot of work going into data analytics tools, so that we can start to bring this concept of DAOs into a comprehensive conceptual framework. And the second one is something that is that touches on multi-chain, but usually tends to be single blockchain focused, and that's DAO creation stacks. And those have been kind of being developed and maturing over the time. Aragon is one of the main pioneers of that space. And so to see that the development is really taking shape in that space, and also in the multi-chain aspect, that's very encouraging. So onto the winners, or the podium. At number 3, we have Rebill, which is a very interesting solution for basically a payment infrastructure that provides multi-chain support for all kinds of payments, and also NFT minting that can be multi-chain accessible. And so that tool can be very well used by DAOs. On to second place, we have I don't know if, oh yeah, we have Scout, there we go, which is a multi-chain toolkit that allows, among others, very interesting incentivization mechanisms, including features like people being rewarded for Discord engagement and voting on Snapshot, and it's using Arweave as immutable proof, Polygon for NFTs issuance, and Ether.js or Discord.js to issue rewards. And on to the winner of this track, I'm proud to announce that that's going to be Hackathon DAO Factory. So first of all, well done, congratulations. And so to kind of put a little bit of spotlight on that project, I think it's hard to describe it because it's such a wide-ranging protocol, and it sets very ambitious goals. But in the simplest words, it's a DAO creation and management stack that also incorporates multi-chain features, and so it's a very interesting solution. So the Rainbow DAO protocol is a set of multi-chain protocols that can be deployed on multiple different blockchains. Thanks to that, it's convenient for DAOs to deploy their own organizations, and it's also enabled by a cross-chain protocol that is the Rainbow Bridge, which will be developed in the future. And so it's a very interesting tool in that allows this multi-chain, multi-level management of DAOs. In that framework, you can create your own parent DAOs, alliance DAOs, child DAOs, which all can have their own different set of rules and also be interconnected, even if they're not in the same blockchain framework. So that's it for me. Thank you very much, and congratulations to all the winners. Oh, you're muted, Juliet.
Whoops, thank you for that. No, I just wanted to thank you, Mateus, for such a holistic and just well thought out overview of the entire ecosystem and what it was like for you to judge this track. Congratulations for the winners. That's very exciting. And off to the next track, we have Community, which will be presented by Ivan from Aragon.
Hey. I'm not knowledgeable enough to qualify as a judge, so I hope I'll make a fair representation of all the effort that went into building and actually evaluating also those projects. As Juliette mentioned, during the presenting the hackathon, no matter how good of a technology we the partners of the hackathon, the investors, the builders, all of us, no matter how good of a technology we create, ultimately, at least for the time being, DAOs are organizations of humans, and the tooling to enable coordination and collaboration largely has to revolve around bringing cohesion across those humans. And because of that, I personally also think like this is probably one of the most exciting tracks, but also one of the most difficult to build to, because there are 7 billion people on the planet. Everyone is different to a certain extent, and it's having tools that can cater towards a large enough audience to fit at least the members of a single DAO is quite the challenge. Luckily, we have the most submissions within that category, and we have some really cool projects that won the awesome awards that we're able to offer thanks to the partners of the hackathon. So without further ado, on third place we have My Bias DAO. It's speaking of culture, I think it's a very interesting project, it is basically enabling K-pop fans to build DAOs and mint NFTs around their favorite artists and bands. And you know, for those that are not familiar, I think there are about 100 million like really hardcore fans of K-pop, and then you know, this is one of the K-pop is named one of the biggest cultural exports of Korea into the world. So it's targeting a growing audience of users. Then on second place we have NFT Bank, and this is in essence an interesting interplay between NFTs and DeFi in a way. It creates sort of a sink for the governance token, and it issues community members an NFT, which serves as the equivalent of a traditional depository receipt. So you can still attribute certain governance rights to that NFT instead of the underlying token, and in this way, you can manage the voting power distribution within a community. And in number one, we have Level 1 DAO, which tackles one of the biggest problems, I think, not only in DAO space, but in general in Web3, namely onboarding of talent and camera, cool. Yeah, I forgot. Hey, everyone. So namely onboarding of talent and contributors, and they do that through a pretty cool learn to earn model. So I'm actually excited to ape into that, try it out, see what I can learn. And yes, that's the winner. And thanks everyone for submitting. I believe this very interesting vertical to look into. And you know, if you haven't won anything in this version of the hackathon, don't get discouraged. Keep building, keep pushing. A lot of people are excited about what's happening, and you know, maybe you won't win an award, but you'll find someone to help you along the way, and that should be enough to keep you going and get you there. Thanks.
That was amazing, Ivan. Thank you so much for that overview. Really excited to see some of these projects come to life. And just to wrap up on the next track, we have finance and operations. We'll have Sam Fumini from Superfluid introduce us into the winners on this one. Sam, to the stage.
Yeah. Thank you, Juliet. Yes, so this is a very important, but perhaps the least sexy track for the event, right? It's all of the things that in the traditional business world, it's all the boring back office, really, really important software that's needed to make sure that organizations can run properly. So the kinds of things that myself and other judges for this track were really looking at were, you know, how can we make operating a DAO easier? How can we make sending transactions between DAOs easier? How can we make moving funds within DAOs easier? How can we improve the budgeting process? How can we merge the voting and governance process with the movement of money within DAOs properly? All of these things were the kinds of things that we were looking at when we were reviewing projects. And we saw 8 fantastic projects. I thought that a lot of the submissions overall, right? I browsed through the non-finance and abstract projects as well a bit, and I thought that the vast majority of submissions for the second half or second portion of this hackathon were very well thought out and of very high quality. So congrats to everybody who submitted something. You did very good work, even if you didn't win a prize, kind of as Ivan said. But overall, I think that this aspect of DAO tooling is going to be very, very important moving forward. I'm a believer. I mean, I work with a team that is working on money streaming and payments. So I see a lot of these kinds of things, but I'm a believer that this is going to continue to be very important. And I'm excited to see what is continued to be built. But to get into the winners here, for our third place prize, we had WheezyWeb, which really helps DAO asset managers manage their whole internal process with the CRM. we need these kinds of tools for DAOs, especially DAOs that need to manage assets, right? So what they did a great job of is just building out a simple CRM for asset management that can apply to DeFi, NFTs, and even GameFi, right? So, and they also have some pretty big goals in terms of just disrupting the larger asset management space in the future, which they laid out in their video, which I thought was pretty cool. So congrats to Wheezy Web. For the second place prize, the winner was Grindery. The Grindery team is championing this process of building these unsexy tools that I mentioned, right? They have an amazing Chrome extension you should check out that they already built in the past. And they're really working on doing things like making it easier to just manage payments and create reports. They built a lot of really great integrations with things like Gnosis Safe. And honestly, I showed our team at Superfluid some of the stuff they built, and we're even excited to check it out and experiment with it on our own. So great work to the Grindery team. And the winner of this track, the first place prize, went to CoFund. So congrats to David and Hamid. You guys did a great job. What I thought was really special about this project was that they were able to, kind of like I said in the beginning when I introduced the track, they were able to merge this process of voting and governance with the distribution of funds to different grants and contributors within a DAO. And they thought through some details on how specifically the funds should be allocated. They did some very interesting things with almost tokenizing the cash flow that goes to the contributors with NFTs, and made it very, very easy for DAOs to manage the budgeting process. They also created an integration with the Aragon client, which I thought was very cool. I'm sure it's something that the Aragon team probably also thought was cool. So congrats to CoFund. I'm excited to see what you guys continue to build. I think there's a lot of potential traction you guys could get with this project. And the presentation was very well thought out. You guys had a nice logo and things. So nice work. Nice work, everybody who submitted to the finance track overall and to these three projects. You guys did great work.
Thank you so much, Sam. That was super insightful. Now, and congratulations, of course, for the winners. That was amazing work. Now, off to Core DAO Tech, we have Jonathan from BidDAO coming to present to us what this track was about.
Cool. Hi, everyone. Jonathan Allen here, community member for BidDAO. BidDAO is one of the largest DAOs by Treasury with around $2.5 billion in assets. And the plan is to basically do kind of these autonomous entities below it, enable fractal growth to have dozens of kind of related DAOs and interaction with each other. So, obviously, when we heard about this hackathon, we were quite interested because we're very interested in a lot of DAO tools. I think generally in the space, you see a lot of projects around kind of just the voting. That's really the core way that the community decides how the DAO kind of makes decisions. So, anyone who's used kind of Snapshot or tried to communicate a vote or kind of educate the community about it knows that there's a lot of work that can be done for voting right now. So I think like that also goes into communication, which some people are looking at Discord or Telegram, and that's kind of how they manage, but I think having something that's asynchronous, something more Reddit-like, might be helpful, because if anyone's been in kind of a 150 person plus Discord or 1,000 person plus Discord, they realize that trying to catch up on all those messages if you're not full time on the DAO is quite challenging. I also think that culture is a really important aspect too. Like how do you kind of quickly onboard somebody? That's the whole goal, is this notion of liquid participation, that you can just jump in a Discord and all of a sudden be actively involved and help facilitate votes and really make a difference. But how do people get spun up on all the context of the community? Like what are the goals? Kind of where is it heading? Where has it been? So really interested in seeing projects there. I think identity is also a piece that we see quite a few projects around. Whether it's kind of like badging or levels, and this makes people more engaged. One, it gives you an idea of like what somebody's background has been, kind of like what their skill set is, but then also makes people feel like they're kind of more part of a DAO. And the last one is like operations, which kind of discussed a little bit previously, but it's like kind of the non-sexy aspects of it, right? It's like the accounting and task management and payroll. So those are just kind of like the five like larger kind of verticals. But I think with Core DAO Tech, what we were really looking for here was like what are the main kind of core pieces that really make a DAO function? This is kind of a bit open and I think open to some interpretation, but it really is focusing on like, how do you kind of just set up these things? How do you facilitate kind of like votes and communication? Like, how do you kind of, shortcut a lot of those like more challenging and very clunky things from going from 0 to 1, from like, wanting to start a DAO to actually starting and running a DAO. So anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop in to the winners of the core DAO Tech section. So in third place, we have Rainbow DAO. So DAO multi-signature committee voting and fund proposal application system is kind of like what this was targeting. I really like it because it improved, like, anyone who's gone through this realizes that the UX and UI is just not there for this, and so they had a really good kind of solution to helping kind of this notion of like multi-sig committee voting and also like fund proposal applications. So great job. With second place, we have DAO It. This was a really interesting project because I think anyone who's gone through the process of going from nothing and to starting a DAO, their solution was creating a DAO in minutes. You just kind of click a few buttons, submit a few forms. What was really quite interesting was that there's no coding necessary. They really abstracted a lot of that complexity, which allows literally anyone kind of with some community or some friends who wants to start a DAO to very quickly and easily do that. So great project. And first place, drum roll, is Concord. So up to now, DAOs, you have to use multiple tools for daily operations. Kind of like I mentioned, like one for communicating with their members, one for managing governance, and maybe another one for rewarding contributors and like passing any online transactions. What Concord did was you can discuss project details, create and vote on proposals, and claim retroactive expenses and even tip each other for their contributions all through one tool. So they integrated with Discord and they named their project Concord. So I was really I thought it was quite interesting, kind of like all the features that they actually added natively in Discord. I think they did an absolutely phenomenal job. I was quite impressed. So great job, everyone.
Thank you so much for that, Jonathan. And congratulations to all of the winners. Honestly, I looked through all of these projects and it's super exciting to see sort of this next era that we're about to come around with these projects and tooling being around for DAOs. So amazing work, guys and girls. Thank you so much for collaborating on this. And off to the next bit of our event, we have the Draper University scholarship that's going to be provided to some teams. So I'll move it over to Draper University to give you some overview on what this will be about and how they went through the process of selecting their winners.
Thank you, Juliet. Hello, everyone. This is Sofyan. I'm leading programs at Draper University. Draper University is a pre-accelerator program based out of San Mateo, which is about 25 minutes from SF. And we bring in 80 founders every cohort. We do 2 residential programs a year. That's one of our flagship programs. We also have some online programs, which are 2-week programs. And also we partner up with organizations like Algorand or Tezos to run blockchain programs. And our programs, the residential program, since there's a cost to us to running the program, we do normally charge for it. But we partnered up with DAO Hackathon, which was a great event to sponsor essentially two of the projects and bring them over to Silicon Valley this coming summer in 2022. And all of the projects that I heard, my team was evaluating projects. I heard about so many good things that you guys are doing, and we selected 2 to fly you over to our program. So more on the program, it's not like a traditional accelerator program. We do not invest up front, but we do have a fund, Draper University Ventures, through which we invest in our companies, mostly focused on our alumni. And without further ado, we will move on to who the winners are. Drum roll. And we will be sponsoring CoFund and Contrib, for the upcoming summer program. And I think on CoFund, Samuel, I think, gave a pretty good rundown on why he liked CoFund, and it were very similar reasons why our team liked CoFund. CoFund, I think it'll be exciting to see the development of this project and seeing how they can make the process of allocating funds more transparent. And this is something that before DAOs, actually about 18 months ago, before DAOs became common, I guess, we were thinking about that. And I came across some projects as well that were not on a blockchain, but I was wondering when somebody would really crack this. So really excited to see the CoFund team at our summer program. And Contrib, I went through the problem, and I completely understand how coordination is broken currently in DAOs, and I'm looking forward to what you guys are going to be building, and looking forward to having both of your teams in our program this summer. Once again, congratulations. Our team at Draper U, me personally, we're all looking forward to seeing you this summer. And if you guys know someone who should be a part of our program, please feel free to hit me up. My first name, Sofyan, at draperuniversity.com. And if you're ever in the Bay Area, if you're ever in SF, San Mateo, we'd love to host you over for coffee and show you around the campus. Once again, a huge thank you to the team, the DAO Hackathon team. You guys did a great job of putting together this 2-month marathon. And Juliet, back to you.
Thank you so much for that, Sufyan. I'm really looking forward to seeing what these projects can come about, and especially with a contribution from Draper University. I think this will be a really cool experience. So having that said, we're about to end our event, but we didn't want to end without any, little kick or special surprise. So to everyone who's been attending, we have some cool POAPs that you'll be receiving within the next few days, as well as the funds for the projects that won. So please expect those. Our designer, Adri, has done an amazing job of making them be super cool and funky. So just stay tuned to that within your email. And just wanted to, leave and end the event on a note of appreciation and on a note of excitement, and all the amazing work that you guys have been putting to it. I'm a software engineer. I know the craziness that goes behind any project. And so just wanted to say thank you. We're proud of you. We're looking forward to seeing what you build. And in any way that us or any of the partners can contribute, you know where to find us. We're on the server. The server will not die. We're looking for ways to keep making it amazing and keep, contributing and adding support and value to the entire ecosystem. So stay tuned to that as well. And just once again, congratulations to the winners and the amazing job that you've done. Can't wait to see where this goes. Thank you very much, and see you on cyberspace. Bye, guys.